Hello guys, hello, my name is Yelena, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do the perfect Christmas table dessert, a Yule Log. And I already started a little bit before my video, but my camera wasn't filming for some reason, so I'm a little delayed here, but it's okay. All I did is just whip my egg whites with some sugar, and we're gonna take it to the different bowl, and at the same bowl where I was whipping my egg whites, we're gonna add now egg yolks. You don't have to wash it in between, just save your dishes. So egg yolks, and we're gonna do more sugar to them, and let's whip them until they light in color and very fluffy. Okay, so we're gonna start on slow speed first. Make sure it's all incorporates, and then we're gonna change it to high speed. And this is what they should look like after they're done. See, very pale color. It's still kind of runny, but that's what we're looking for. Okay, nothing to it. Okay, now to this yolks, now we're gonna add all our dry ingredients, like so. Okay, make sure it's all out, and start whipping it slightly, kind of pulsing motion. Make sure you don't poof your flour up in the air. And if it's too thick, you think, add this your liquids a little bit, just to help it incorporate first. See, so the mixture is kind of thick right now, so that way you're not gonna have any clumps if there is some on the flour or cocoa. I like to do it that way. I know it's against all the rules, but it works, and you don't have to sift anything. Of course, unless you have some serious clumps. All right, so now it's, see, all together. I don't see any chunks. All nice. Now add the rest of your liquid. Okay, and slowly incorporate it all together. Again, I'm starting with pulsing motion first, gentle. All right, so let's scrape a little bit on the whisk and a little inside the bowl. Make sure it's all gonna mix in. All right, and now let's give it a little bit good whipping motion. All right, that's all we need. Okay, so now let's fold our egg whites into chocolate mixture. See, right now it's very runny, so we're gonna add egg whites in about 3 parts. So after each addition, go ahead and mix it, folding motion. So we want to mix it in, but keep it as fluffy as possible. Don't try to deflate the egg whites. All right, so again, mix it up. And add the rest. Make sure scrape your bowl very good. Don't waste anything. We need every drop of it. See? All right, and go ahead, whip the rest until it's even in color, so you shouldn't see any white streaks. See, just like that. And see, now our batter is thicker and kind of frothy looking. All right, now I have, it's a half a sheet tray. It's 12 by 18, or you can have a jelly roll pan. I believe it's 11 by 15, but I may be mistaken. So jelly roll pan or half sheet pan. And I'm using Baker's Joy flour spray. That's my favorite. I use it all the time for all my baking. Okay, so spray the pan first. Then I'm gonna line it with my parchment paper. Make sure it's nice and even. And then spray again. Now this part, make sure you're spraying very good. This one is very important. So make sure our cake doesn't stick to the paper. All right, pour your batter in the pan. And spread it out evenly with your spatula, because this batter is not the running consistency, so it's not gonna level itself out. So it's pretty much will bake as you pour it. So make sure it's nice and level. Again, make sure you scrape everything from the bowl. Okay, and we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 degrees at about 15 minutes or until done. You can check it with a toothpick. And this is what it looks like when it's out of the oven. So cool it completely. All right, and of course I already cooled mine. And let's start filling it. So run your knife or spatula around the edges first. Let's depin it. So if it's stuck to the edges in places, so do that. Then I lift one end and try to find where's your parchment there. So I don't touch it by the cake, but I hold on to the parchment. Okay. And you hold the parchment on one place and pull the tray out, and it just slides off. And lay it on the other big parchment. Now for the filling, I'm gonna fill it with cream cheese icing. I'm gonna leave the recipe below in my description box along with recipe for the log. But you can do any other fillings that you like. You can do whipped cream, berries, jams, ganache, whipped cream. I mean, anything that you like. Just make sure it's all even spread out. Okay, and let's start rolling. So I'm gonna find my edge again and roll it in first and kind of push it down so it kind of sticks. Now try and peel the parchment. Okay, it's coming off really nice. Now keep attention on the parchment and start rolling up, pushing parchment down to the log, so it's forcing it to get stick to the filling, and it's rolling kind of like itself. Ta-da! All right, so remove the parchment, and here we go. Here's our little roll. And then let's roll it with the rest of parchment paper, like so. So that way make sure it stays rolled up. And I'm gonna tie little ends, and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator 4 to 6 hours, or better overnight. That way it's all be nice and chilled and will hold the shape. And we'll come back to it later on and we'll proceed to decorating it. Okay, so this is already tomorrow, so the next day. So it's nice and chilled. You can handle it easy. See, it's still soft because there's no butter in the sponge. of the cake itself, so it's still pretty soft, so be delicate with it, but we can handle it. All right, so this is my board, so I'm gonna eyeball it, how big my board is and how big the log should be in length. So I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of each side. Isn't pretty inside? All right, and then for the back side, so I'm gonna leave the same distance on the other end of board, and I'm gonna cut it a little slanted, so the other end will be bigger. Okay, now let's transfer our roll on the board, like so. Looking good. I'm gonna use chocolate icing. Any chocolate icing you like, anything will go. So I'm gonna put a few blobs where my ends of the log will go for the branches look. So the small one that I cut out will go on the side, like so. And the bigger one will go on top. All right, now it looks like a little log. All right, so I put a little icing in the bag and I'm gonna squeeze out and cover the whole log. That way it's easier for me and I'm kind of used to doing that way. But you can always just use a spatula and just slap some icing on, but I kind of like it doing this way. It's cleaner too, and you can control how much icing goes, so you don't put too much. So go ahead, spread the icing, cover the log, and then go back with your spatula, even it out, and create a texture like a bark. Now take just white icing with wide opening cut out, and let's cover our ends. Make sure no cake peeking through, like so. And with darker chocolate icing, we'll create the swirl, resemble the tree, what was it, 8 rings. Okay, for the leaves, I'm gonna use my green icing in the bag, and I'm snapping opening in the shape of a V as usual to create a leaf pattern. And I'm gonna do the same for the red to create a flower petals. Okay, now add some yellow to the middle of the flower, and I'm gonna use a little white nonpareil sprinkles and sprinkle just a little bit on top so it looks like a snow. Okay, so here it is, our beauty. What you guys think? Do you like it? I think it's gorgeous, and it will look so festive on any table. You can take it to your guests or have it just for your family. It's always a winner. It tastes delicious, and it's just perfect anyway. Have a very Merry Christmas, guys, from my family to yours, and we'll see you next video. Bye. Love you so much.